Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. My name is Jerry and I'm hailing you from the Antares shipyard. And today I'm going to bring you something that is not Attack Wing related, but it is another Star Trek game that WizKids is releasing here in Quarter 4. This game is called Star Trek Captain's Chair. It is a deck building game by David Turczi, and I apologize if I mess up his last name, but David Turczi and Nigel Buckle. Um, from what I am reading, it is based on some other games that were designed by these designers. A game called Imperium. Kind of got the same mechanics, but it is not a reskin of Imperium, and that comes directly from a quote from the developers of this game. It looks like it's kind of a mix between a deck building game and some other interesting things going on, but we'll get into that. So I'm excited to kind of really dive in and see what this game's about. Really excited that there's another Star Trek property game coming out. Definitely gets me excited. So let's go ahead and let's pull up the WizKids pre-order page for this. Um, so you see we got the captain's chair here. It looks like it's going to be $59.99 is the price. It'll be releasing in Quarter 4 2024. I don't believe there is an official release date for it yet, but definitely be on the watch for that. I know they're starting to do interviews with the developers and trying to start to build the hype for the game. Um, I know I want to join. I want to help in that because I definitely want to get Star Trek games out there. So let's get into this. So, Star Trek Captain's Chair, you can pre-order it, and you get a promo pack with 5 new cards and a new ship. So, assuming that the promos aren't a redo of the ships that come in the box, like a foil or something, sounds like you're getting 5 new cards and a ship to go with the ones that are coming in the base set. You can see here on the side we've got Jean-Luc Picard down here. Looks like Felix Schran. And then, of course, Michael Burnham is over here on the side. I know that'll be divisive for some people, but we'll talk about that here in a little bit. I just want to go ahead and I kind of want to read some of the stuff here, some of the flavor text that they got here. So, from David and Nigel, designers of Voidfall and the Imperium series, comes a strategic and fascinating deck building game that puts you into one of the most powerful seats in the galaxy, the Captain's Chair. In Star Trek The Captain's Chair, you will go head to head with an opponent, each stepping into the shoes of an iconic captain from across Star Trek's galaxy and history. Command ships, crew, and away teams while you manage resources and alliances. Each of the 6 captains, so we're getting 6, comes with their own unique asymmetric deck of cards themed to that captain's personality, strategies, allies, and assets. Each deck creates different strategic directions based on what common cards are available and what your strategy your opponent deploys. The captains you are able to choose from, so these are the captains that come in the base box. We got Jean-Luc Picard, Benjamin Sisko, Michael Burnham, Koloth, the Dahar Master, Sela, Felix Schran. True to Star Trek's antagonism, will not win every game. You will need to pursue diplomacy, exploration, and science with different captains excelling at different paths. With hundreds of unique, deeply thematic cards, you'll want to explore the galaxy again and again. The chair is yours, Captain. So we are getting 240 plus cards, and it's interesting that they put the plus there, so they didn't nail that number down. So we're definitely getting more than 240 cards. 32 ship tokens, 12 automatic command cards, 2 player aid cards, 6 specialty markers, 25 Latinum tokens, 30 dilithium tokens, 9 action tokens, 6 mission completion tokens, 50 plus glory tokens, 10 times 5 resource tokens, 1 market strip, 1 starting player token, 1 card list, 1 score pad, 1 rulebook, and 1 solo rulebook. That is one thing that they didn't say in the flavor text. This game is meant for 1 to 2 players. So there is a solo mode to this game. You can play it on your own. And the designers did confirm that in an interview. And I'll have to see if I can find the interview and link it into the description box below. Okay, so that's the flavor text. So I want to look at the cards here, but I do want to address kind of the Michael Burnham in the room, if you will. I understand that a lot of people don't like the new Trek, as they call it. My official stance, and I've tried to really stay out of these kind of debates, and again, this isn't a debate here either, um, but I'm one of those people that's just really happy that Star Trek is on TV again. You know, I grew up in the 90s, I grew up with Star Trek. I was sad to see Enterprise get canceled, and then now we've got this resurgence of Trek, and it's almost too much Trek, but it's still there. And yeah, sure, Discovery. There's issues with Discovery, um, but I still sit down and enjoy watching it because at the end of the day, it is Star Trek. And I think developers um, kind of have my viewpoint on that and kind of appreciate that Star Trek is Star Trek, and we can't just shy away because we don't like this new stuff. So getting this new stuff kind of rolled in is kind of I like it, and I want to see more of it. Okay, so with that, and here's something that I want to kind of bring. We're gonna run over to Reddit real quick because I've been following the designers talk about the game, and they're definitely active on Reddit and they're talking about it. Um, so this commenter here, this redditor here, one thing I will say though, I wish they had stuck to one era of Star Trek and had TNG, DS9, and Voyager stuff only. Although I saw at least one lower deck character. Again, we'll get to that. I think the main designer clearly favors the 90s era Trek since he included both Picard and Sisko as playable captains. He said WizKids told him either Kirk or Picard had to be in it, and he picked Picard. But then we have Shran from Enterprise, Burnham from Discovery, and it feels like an arbitrary time period mishmash that will break immersion. Including Burnham especially feels like a marketing mandate per what's streaming currently, and I know Star Trek has lots of time travel shenanigans, but here that would obviously just be post hoc justification. So as you can see, the comment right below it is one of the developers. His name is on the box, and to me, his response is one of the best responses I've heard. It's one of the leading arguments that I have when I talk to attack wing players about cross factioning things and all the shenanigans that you can get up to with attack wing. He embodied my argument here in this comment, which makes me respect the design, the direction, and everything that he says a little bit more. So he says the only person who mandated me Burnham was me. Other than Picard, every other captain was 100% my choice. My favorite treks are DS9 and Enterprise, and recently Lower Decks and Strange New Worlds. But I designed most of the game during Season 1 of Strange New Worlds, so there was not a lot of Strange New Worlds content in there, or in here. I do love most modern Trek, including Discovery. The deck covers Season 3 and Season 4 of Discovery. But I try to not let my biases affect me, so if one series is underrepresented now, then I will definitely plan on doing more should they let me make more content in the future. As for the justification of the multi-era, there is a single paragraph theme text in the rules explaining that players are cadets in a reopened Starfleet Academy running simulations from all of Federation's history, and this is never mentioned again, because as I explained in the announcement interview, I wanted to bring the Trek feeling instead of the one slice of Trek narrative that all other board games have been trying. And by all indications of the fans who played it, my gamble paid off. So, uh, the game does not have high level narrative, so when you play Peanut Hamper's Effect, it'll totally feel thematic when she runs away at the first sign of trouble. Again, love the explanation that the multi era is you as a cadet at Starfleet Academy running simulations. It reminds me of the episode of uh, the episode where Dahl from Prodigy is in the holodeck uh, on the Protostar. And he's running through the Kobayashi Maru over and over again, and he tells the computer, "Bring me some of the best people from the history of the Federation." And you end up with people like Mr. Spock, Uhura, Crusher, and all these other characters kind of joining in to form his ragtag crew to do the Kobayashi Maru. I really like that feeling. I like that justification, and I'm glad that he said it's in the rulebook. Now, he did give a spoiler here that we are getting some lower deck cards in the pack, and Peanut Hamper will be one of them. So we're going to flip back to the WizKids here, and we're just going to take a quick look at the previews that they got here. So this is obviously the front of the box, but this is what we're more interested in here. So we're just going to edit the image and we're going to zoom in ourselves. So we obviously have Captain Jean-Luc Picard, and I don't know the rules. I haven't played Imperium, so I'm not going to pretend like I know everything going on here. And when this game comes out, I am more than happy to kind of break down the rules with everybody too, and kind of learn as we go. But we got Captain Jean-Luc Picard here. It says reaction. After gaining an ally, discard a card and gain one of these token, and you may beam the gained card to a. I'm going to assume that's a Galaxy class ship, or maybe that's just a symbol for ship. Unsure there. End game. Score one these tokens for each of your ally cards. And of course, that's pretty cool. And then we've got the Temerians, which looks like an ally card, which is mentioned on Picard there. I'm going to try and read it. I know they do this. WizKids loves to do this where they overlay things to give you only partial bits and pieces of text. So play, draw 3 cards. You may discard up to something of the following: a person, an ally, an encounter, an incident, and gain. Something for each card discarded this way. And then log something. And then, of course, you got the dev cost. Looks like maybe those are dilithium tokens here. Times 2 and take on and take an incident card. Okay, so right here, right behind Picard, we've got the USS Enterprise D, which is, okay, so it's a ship. It's not just a Galaxy class. Looks like it's just a ship. And maybe this will change when we look at the other ones. But it looks like we've got maybe some science, diplomacy, and tactical markings here. Be interesting. So deploy this ship, warp this ship, or something there. Looks like 1 dilithium to warp this ship. Cool. And of course, it looks like it comes with a ship token. Nice artwork on this. It's awesome. Over here, we've got set course, which is a directive. Discard up to 3 person to send something or other. But so that's 4 out of 240 cards. Let's go and see what the other previews look like. So we've got Captain Benjamin Sisko, Human Starfleet Transcendent. Looks like maybe a diplomacy skill. I don't know if that's what that is. Some kind of skill of 6. Picard had 5. Reaction. After you take control of a location, gain 2 dilithium crystals. Activation. Send I'm going to say that's a crew. Oh, yeah, I want to say that's a crew to a location with a Starfleet/Starbase. So you can. It's hard to tell without knowing what the symbols are or what the rulebook looks like. In-game score 1 for each controlled location you have in play. And of course, looks like we got a location right here. This is a wormhole. Take control of this location. You may free play a ship. Control. Look at the top 3 locations. Something. Discard a person to warp a ship. Discard a card to find an anomaly. Okay. And of course, we got the USS Defiant up here, which is a ship. It looks like it's got Cloak, Attack, Romulan, and Starfleet. Attack, play and deploy warp this ship. If the opponent has at least one ship at the something USS Defiance location, force them to discard 2 cards. Play requires 5 of these tokens. To deploy this ship, you may send a crew to a location ignoring any opponent's ships. Cargo, looks like we got self-replicating mines, which have an attack and ongoing. We got the handshake symbol here. Force your opponent to discard a card, draw 2 cards, and discard one of them. Deploy this card, and then to resupply, you gain one of these. But again, we got another token. It looks like a DS9 token. So it's interesting that they didn't show off the Defiant token, but I'm going to assume that since the Defiant is a ship, it's going to have a token. And Deep Space Nine will probably have a card. Again, just assuming. Okay, so we're taking a look at our first sneak peeks that are Klingons here. And of course, we've got Koloth, the Dahar Master. Looks like a 6. He is got weapon and Klingon up here. Activation, put a card on top of your deck to send a crew to a location. Your opponent may draw a card. Alright. Then we got a directive called A Good Day to Die. I'm not even going to try reading it. I'll leave it here. You guys can try. Alright, and then we got Kor, the Dahar Master, which is a person, not a captain. Weapon Klingon. Send a person, no, a crew to a neutral location. The location is now secured. You may spend something. It's hard to tell, but we talked about that already. So we got Rura Penthe here as a location. The Klingon ice prison asteroid planet. And then we've got a token. It looks like a D7 battle cruiser here. Definitely from TOS, not the Katinga class. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Alright. So let's see what else we've got here. Apologize. WizKids' site where there's banner is a little bit hard to use. So here are the Romulans. We've got Sela, who's got this of 4. She is shady, human, and Romulan. After attacking your opponent, you may gain 1 dilithium. I'm going to assume that's gold press latinum. Activation, discard either infiltrate or conquer, and spend 3 gold press latinum to scan either Klingon, Vulcan, or Starfleet. In-game, score 1 point for each of your attack cards, excluding cards with Romulan and Reman. And we got the IRW Kazara here, the Daredevil class ship. Cloak Romulan here. Looks like spend 1 dilithium crystal to warp this ship. And then we got allies, which are the Remans. You've got Reman security, and I'm going to assume this is telepath just by this. Interesting. And then we got Romulus as the location. Romulan Imperial weapon. Then this handshake, which probably I think is diplomacy. And then we got a Daredex class token. So very nice there. Alright, so we're going to look at, we got some Andorians going on here. So we've got Felix Shran, Captain Imperial Andorian, cost of 5. Resupply, gain 1 dilithium per cargo you have in play. Discard a cargo to send a crew to a controlled location. We have an incident here, which is like a trade embargo. Spend 1 gold press latinum to return this card. You may refresh a ship. Ooh, I didn't notice this before. So it's got a thing down here that says reserve. Okay, we've got Andorian cruiser, so ship. And notice it's not a named cruiser, so it's not Shran's cruiser, the Kamari. Deploy the ship. You may spend something to warp this ship. Activate. Spend 1 dilithium to warp this ship. Discard this card to beam a card somewhere. And then we got Talus, who is Ops, Attack, and Andorian. She is a person, not a captain. And then you've got the Andorian battle cruiser token there. And then we're going to be getting into the divisive ones. So we've got. Oh, I apologize. I don't know why that's so blurry. Let's try this again. Okay. Let's do that. There we go. Alright, so we've got Captain Michael Burnham, human scientist Starfleet. Got a 5 there. Passive, during cleanup step, remove 1 from the Stardate card and place 2 dilithium on a card in the market instead. Activation, place 3 dilithium tokens to gain an ally and 1 of these tokens. Interesting. And then you got a Saru person, so not a captain. Kelpian Starfleet. Again, it's really hard to read the text here. Still, right here, it says available instead of reserve. So that's interesting. We got the USS Discovery A, which again, spoiler alert for those who have not watched Discovery. This is what happens when the Discovery jumps into the future. It gets the letter A added to it. And then we've got inert dilithium, which is a status. Now, a lot of people might be asking, what is that as a token? That is Federation headquarters in the future, in the 32nd century. Again, spoiler alerts for those who have not seen it. So, interesting that we got this here. So, possibly opens the door for seeing maybe an Admiral Vance card. Some of the other characters from the future, from Discovery, not just the Discovery crew, but also getting, I believe it's called Federation 1, but getting that as a card and then also having a token for the Discovery. And it looks like we got some random cards here. So we got Admiral Pressman as a person who is shady human Starfleet. Again, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to forego reading the text just because it's hard to really kind of visualize what the cards are doing themselves. We got the Guardian of Forever, which is an encounter. Again, spoilers for those who haven't seen it. Strange New Worlds, I believe season 3 goes into the Guardian of Forever. That is there. That's what this image is from. But you got anomaly, ongoing, time travel, and then something here. We got Erosians, which is an ally. So this character right here, again, another spoiler alert for those who haven't seen it. It appears that this character is based on the Lower Decks one. I believe he was on a medical ship that was taking Boimler and Tindy's dog to the medical colony. So it'll be interesting to see if that's what this is. But it's for the Adosians. That's just what the card art is referring to, I believe. And of course, Adosians were made famous in the Star Trek the Animated Series with Eric's. And then we got the USS Pasture here, which is Dr. Starfleet Communication. It doesn't look like, I don't see anything here that's indicating that it's a mirror universe or anything like that from Attack Wing. So that's a kind of cool and neat. I would prefer that be just a Starfleet vessel, obviously. And then we got another token here. It looks like just a shuttlecraft. So interesting stuff going on there. Let's see what else we've got. Here we go. Okay. So we've got Captain Dorg, which is a Lower Decks character for sure. Shady attack Klingon. Lots and lots of wording here. Should be fun. We got an Iconian Gateway, which is an encounter. We got an Emerald Chain, which is an ally. Now, if you don't know what the Emerald Chain is, they are. It's a Discovery, Season 3 Discovery baddie. So you got Shady, Orion, Attack, and Andorian, because the Andorians are a little bit of part of the Emerald Chain. And then we got a Borg probe, which is a ship. It is Borg, so we're going to have some Borg play in this. So it'll be interesting to see how they handle the Borg in this game. And the token is a TOS Romulan Warbird. So we are definitely getting a lot of ships and cards, hopefully, from all over Trek. So let's edit this image here. What do we got? We've got Rom from Deep Space Nine, Ferengi Engineer. We've got the Koala, which is an encounter. For those of you, again, not in the know, spoilers. This is a Lower Decks side plot that they had in one of the episodes. Then we got Tholians as an ally. And then we have a Katinga class battlecruiser. And it looks like, oh, that is 1841. That is the USS Saratoga. So that would have been Benjamin Sisko's first ship from the Battle of Wolf 359. Alright, let's see what else we've got. Ooh, we've got Zephyrin Cochrane, which is pilot human engineer. Let's just go ahead and do that. Looks like we've got V'ger, which is an encounter. We've got Orb of Time, which is a cargo. And then we've got a Pakled freighter. And then we've got a token for a Xindi reptilian warship. Oh, interesting. Interesting. So we're getting... Seems like we're getting some Xindi. I mean, the designer did say that he was a big fan of Enterprise, which, again, I do respect. Now, let's go ahead and edit this. Okay, we've got Turvin Kurtz, who, again, this is a... why can't I think of them? This is a Tellarite from Discovery. We've got Ryza as a location. We've got Tribbles as cargo. And then look at that. We've got a Sona battleship, Shady Attack Dominion. And then we've got a Romulan drone token. Okay. So I believe that is all the previews of the cards we're going to get. But here is kind of a setup of what they got out here. So we can get a couple more things gleamed from this. So I'm going to zoom in, I believe down here in the bottom corner is where we're going to zoom in first. It's going to get kind of blurry, but that's okay. So, of course, we can see Captain Jean-Luc Picard's card here. And we've got his little table down here. You got the USS Enterprise D with its token. And right there, that big smiling face, we've got Commander Riker. This guy right here with the flowing brown hair and the silver chain, that's unmistakable. That is Mr. Worf. Then it looks like we've got a couple other cards here. Probably should have made note of the card colors. I could probably make them out a little bit better. But that's okay. Looks like over here we got some isolinear chips maybe. Looks like a turn order token, some dilithium crystals, some latinum tokens. Not 100% sure exactly what these tokens are. But let's see. We got a couple of planets down here. I think one of them is Ryza that we had talked about. These two are maybe newer. So going up here, we got Koloth with his D7 here. It looks like it is a named D7, so there's the D7 card. I can see the IKS, but I don't know what the name of it is here. I'm sure we can figure that out. And here are the tokens. Oh, interesting. Okay, so here's what I see. In the front row, we've got, I believe this is the shuttle pod. We've got the Pasteur. We've got the Xindi Reptilian warship. I think this might be the Sona battlecruiser. We got the Romulan warbird. We got the Pakled freighter. That's the Romulan drone ship there. I don't know what this one is. This might be the Katinga class battlecruiser that we saw. But this one right here in the middle, that if I'm not mistaken, oh, there's the Katinga. This is the NX. Okay, I see it. So that's the NX. So it looks like we're getting the NX in this. I believe that's a Miranda class back there. But this one right here, that is, I'm going to say 100% without a doubt, an Ambassador class. So Enterprise C confirmed for this game, I believe. I'm willing to go out on a limb and say that. That is interesting. Of course, we got a Vulcan ship here. One of these is going to be the Andorian battle cruiser, which is probably the one that I couldn't figure out earlier. Um, Man, interesting. Interesting. This one back here, I don't think it's the Cerritos. I don't think it's set up properly. It looks like a Miranda class. So it could be the Saratoga that we saw, but it doesn't look the same. That could be a different one. Who knows? Going through here, we got Admiral Nechayev sitting out right here. So she's here. We got the self-replicating mines. Looks like the Packlet freighter, and then we got the allies, which are going to be the Binars. And that is all I can glean from this. So I'm kind of excited for this game to come out. Again, it's coming out in Q4. If you pre-order it, you do get a promo. So I hope you guys kind of enjoyed this kind of breakdown, looking at a different type of game instead of just tackling content constantly. I'm trying to kind of expand the horizons, but I'm pretty excited about the Captain's Chair. I do plan on pre-ordering it myself and breaking it down further. I do know that the designers have plans for the future for expansions and bringing more cards into this game. And so the success of this game definitely depends on us. So again, thank you everybody for watching. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel, drop a like. Those really help the channels out, or really helps my channel out. And of course, if you know somebody who would like this game or like this content, share it with them. But until next time, we'll see you guys around the shipyard.